Marco, hi. Just on the team news first of all, are there any fresh injuries after Brentford, and will Cairney be available for Sunday?
Who?
Cairney.
Yes. No problems with Cairney. When he came off from the last game, are you asking because the last game he came off? No, it was a tactical decision. Was nothing with. He didn't have problems. Okay, yes, that moment there, but it was not because that he came off. And apart from that situation, the players they were available for the last match, they are going to be. No news, nothing new in terms of injured players.
Can we just go back to Monday? After the game, some Fulham fans weren't happy that Ivan Toney was on the pitch scoring a penalty, obviously involved in a challenge which could have been a red card, but he's still playing despite everything that's hanging over his head. Do you think that is right? Should Ivan Toney still be playing right now?
Why?
Because he's possibly facing a lengthy ban for betting breaches.
But this is not for me to. I will not make any comments on that. It's not something that is important for me. It's not for me to take decisions about that and to make any comments. I can make comments about what's happened on the pitch and what is our performance and the Brentford's performance and the referee performance as well, because probably that penalty in more 10 derbies will not happen again, because VAR can see something there or soft. For a referee to see straight away that penalty, for me, it was strange in that day, in that night. Is even worse now. Right now that I analyze the game, I saw the game. This is what I can talk about that moment. Probably the red card for Tony before, or the second yellow card for Lukic, for our player as well, could be a second yellow card as well. About this situation about him, I will not make any comments on that.
Marco, you've beaten Arsenal with Olympiacos, with Everton, and also Watford. Can you beat them again with Fulham on Sunday?
I don't know, but we are going to do our best, definitely, when we are trying, and it's a football match, and all of you know already that what we are capable to do. We know that we are going to play against one of the better teams in this country, because they from the beginning of the season, almost beginning of the season, they are on top of the table. They have been really consistent, playing good football, adapting really well, and reacting well when something comes wrong, when they don't achieve a good result, straight away comes the reaction. Was a good example after the defeat against City at home. They have Everton and City at home, two bad results, but after straight away they react well and late goals and winning some important games as well. And what means they are getting the maturity and the experience to react in the right way, and will be a really tough game for us. But we are going to do our best again to be really tough for Arsenal. And it was tough for them the first game we played away from home, and for sure at Cottage we want to make the things even more difficult for them. We feel well at home, and will be a tough game, but I think it will be a tough game for them as well.
It's Willian's first game against Arsenal since he left there. Can you explain why he's been so good here, but yet he was so underwhelming when he was an Arsenal player?
About Arsenal, his moment in Arsenal, I'm not the right person to talk about it. I wasn't there, I don't know what's happened there. I can talk to you about William with our shirt and with us. He's being brilliant, he's doing really well. Really humble person, top player. Just we have to keep him as fit as we can. Keep working with a smile on his face and keep playing with a smile on his face is the most important thing for me and for us as a football club. What's happened there, I'm not the right person to talk.
Just finally from me, there's a lot of speculation about the Tottenham job at the moment and what might happen to Conte. It's been suggested you may be someone who interests Spurs. If they did approach you, what would you say?
I will not make any comments on that. I cannot control what the people, myself as a manager, our players, other managers as well. We cannot control what the people write about the situations, and I don't make any comments on that.
Could you say anything more about your own contract and whether you'd be happy to
you know my contract. I have this season another year contract under this football club. I'm really happy here. Not any comments on that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi Marco.
Hi.
What's the mood been like here after that defeat against Brentford, and what kind of reaction do you want to see from your players on Sunday?
Of course, we don't like to lose. It's not something that is being usual for us. In a derby, is even hurts a little bit more you as well. But as I said, straight away after the match, and our players, they already listen why, and we analyze with them. But that result cannot hide how they have been brilliant. and I will be the first one to don't let this happen, because the people have to understand that you are in a process, you are in a tough season, and this football club and these players, they have been brilliant, and I will not let no one, just because one bad night, one bad result, and was a bad night and bad result, the people start to talk and to write something that is not fair with this football club and with these players.
And there were people saying that your players looked tired. Is fatigue a concern for you?
Okay. No one is tired the first 5 minutes of the game. I think our worst period in the game probably was the first 5 minutes of the game, or the first 10 minutes of the game. And no one is tired in the first 10 minutes of the game. It was much more than just to be tired. And for me, it's not. It will be the best way to find excuses. But you know myself, I like to be really direct and to really put focus on what is important for us. And if you want to talk about depth and all these situations, probably we don't have the same conditions as some of the other clubs. But it's a reality. And for me, it's clear. It's clear on that situation. But was not tireless at all. Was not tireless at all. We were there in the game. We have the physical condition enough to be able to play in a different way, to be more clever in the game, and to do the things that we should have done. And we didn't. We didn't deserve to win the game, and that's it. We already analyzed. What I want from ourselves is not to repeat the same approach in the first minutes of the game, because it's something that we haven't planned, and the players, they know it, and we have to do it in a different way.
Speaking of players being tired, could Arsenal's trip to Lisbon midweek work in Fulham's favour on Sunday?
Let's see. You know that Arsenal, and they have been doing this so far. I think their approach to the Europa League is always different than Premier League, and you know it. Of course, they have some players injured and some illness during this week. All of you know, but even so, I think they rested 5 players at least. At least they rested 5 players. And from the first day of the first match, Europa League match this season, they have been approaching a different way. They have been rotate the team, and they have been managed really well the situation. And what I saw from yesterday, they did again the same. They rotate the team. Some key players they didn't start the game again, and will be a strong Arsenal for sure. But okay, it's not a normal week. Okay, yesterday they have game, they travel situation, but about the players, I think all of us, you understand that they rotate the team, and of course they will be a very strong side on next Sunday.
You said defeat in the reverse fixture was down to bad luck. How much luck will you need if you are to beat the league leaders on Sunday?
Bad luck one last Monday?
Yeah, no, when you beat them when you lost them in August, you said it was bad luck.
No, in that moment I think you performed really well. I think we did a very good game. In the moment that they were really strong in that moment, and we did it really well. Of course, the way they scored I use that word probably because they scored the first goal in a deflection when Odegaard shot that ball from the edge of the box, and after the way they scored from a corner in the last minutes of the game. Of course, they were most of the game in the front foot, and we expected that, but we did well. Our performance was good. We matched them clear. Of course, some things we have to do in the same way, some things to improve as well, and at least to believe in ourselves is the main thing for us, and the most important thing, to believe in ourselves, the way we are going to play. We know that in some moments they are going to obligate us to do some things that we don't like really, even playing at home, but we have to be able to handle that situation and after to play our game.
Just finally, I know managers don't like talking about just one player, but how much could you do with João Palhinha on Sunday?
Okay, you know that is important for us. I think the way he adapts so quick in our idea in this football as well, he settled really well in our football club, is being important for us. I said, of course, if you lose a player like him, and probably in our squad you don't have the same profile of player, because that I said about the profile, or if you have some and the depth of the squad, you don't have the same profile. But the main thing that I would like to say, that the player that played in his position last game probably was our best player on the pitch last Monday night for me, in my opinion, apart from Bernardo, that was again at top level. It was our player with more. That did better in that game, in that position, offer different things for us. Okay, will not be the same profile, the same player like João, so aggressive in some moments. There are 2 moments that reaction when you lose the ball, our defensive transition. Of course, he's not the same type of player. You are going to lose some things. Probably you are going to win different things as well. But now is not the moment for us to talk about João. João will not be available for the Arsenal match, and we have to put all the focus and our energy in the players that will be available.
Thank you. Good luck on Sunday.
Marco, the Arsenal fans are very happy that João Palhinha isn't playing against them
Yeah?
this weekend. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's a player that has attracted a lot of interest from other clubs. I'm just wondering how important it is for you to keep him happy here.
He's happy here. He's happy here. And as I said before, it's about managers, it's the same about players. I think we cannot control the situation. It's impossible for us to control what the people is going to write about managers or players linked with the different clubs or some interest in this moment. And to be honest, it's something that I don't lose time thinking and waste time thinking on this situation, and about João is the same.
What does it say about how well you've played this season that you were disappointed to not get something from the game at the Emirates?
Okay, showed our ambition and show that we are realistic, but at the same time we are really ambitious group of players, and our approach is always to try to win the football match. Of course, in that moment it was really disappointing that afternoon because we felt that we probably deserved more from the game. But okay, that's football. We try to learn from that situation. When we consider a late goal like we considered in that moment, okay, it made it hurts a little bit. Even after that moment, we had a big chance to equalize the game again. But okay, that's football. Already it's past. We analyzed. We took positives from that moment. Other things to improve, like we do always.
You aren't the only team to have lost to a late goal against Arsenal this season. Is that the sign of Premier League champions potentially, that they can do that in games?
I don't know if the sign of Premier League champions. Of course, they are fighting for it. It will be a tough fight until the end of the season, I believe. But show, and they have been showing that the belief and their character, their mentality as well. Not just on the pitch, off the pitch as well, because we played there and we know straight away after when you start winning the game 1-0, we were celebrating the goal, and the crowd don't let them down. And this is a sign that not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well, they are all on the same page. And in these type of moments, they help with the players, because I remember and I analyze other games. I already saw different games from them as well, and it's something that you feel straight away in their stadium. Every time the opposition side are on the front foot, or every time they concede a goal, they start to support straight away their team, and it's not something normal in football, and it's something that is a big help for them for sure.
There's been a little bit of criticism about the way that Arsenal have sometimes enthusiastically celebrated some of their results, and you as a manager have had a touchline ban because of maybe some of the passion you've shown in the dugout. Is there still space for passion, for enthusiasm in football?
Of course, you cannot take. What's the problem? They celebrate the goal like they feel the moment. Of course, in football, if you are, last game is a good example. If they were losing the game 2-0 and after they scored the late goal, what's the problem to celebrate? I think they was not lack of respect with no one. They celebrate probably with more emotion than normal, but okay, if you do it in a normal way, I don't see the problem. The emotion has to be always there, within the rules, of course, respecting everybody, respecting the opposition side, but always has to be there in a football match.
You'll let your players be passionate and enthusiastic if they win?
Of course, and they have been. Of course, we've already won some games in the last minutes as well, and we celebrated each club and each player, and you celebrate the way you think is the best, or the moment. Sometimes come the things that they come natural. I think they don't do anything on purpose to make the other people feel in a different way.
Thank you.